foot again in the stepstones, Rhaenyra. The triarchy takes new life from its alliance with Dawn. After all this time, this is just what I need. A little adventure. Good honest battle to enliven my blood again.
Are you mad? Do you know what's happened? Vile, disgusting insinuations.
Insinuations are...
They are our sons.
I am a knight. And a warrior. And I have played my part here.
This was our agreement. I have not begrudged you.
You're right, but he has a right to change and to want to go back to who he was, to his
The
aunt.
wise sailor flees the storm as it gathers.
You need to change the terms of your agreement. You're really glad to see her. I really think that you
Laenor has written.
like her a lot.
Rhaenyra has delivered another son.
But the mention of this one also bears a marking but entirely coincidental resemblance to the command of the City Watch.
I miss my brother, Damon. As I think do you. Perhaps I know disappointed you. Perhaps I too am not the wife you would have wished for yourself.
Laenor.
It does not pain me, but you are more than this Damon. The man I married was more than this.
You're pushing him to be more ambitious, to find the ambition that he had before.
I have felt the strife between our families of late, my queen, and for any offence given by mine, I apologise. But we are one house. Long before that, we were friends.
Long before that.
My son, Jacaerys, will inherit the Iron Throne after me. I propose we betroth him to your daughter, Helena.
It's a
Let them
logical
rule together.
offer
A most judicious proposition.
that is gonna be happy about, but not Alicent.
If Cyrax brings forth another clutch of eggs, your son, Aemond, will have his choice of them.
A dragon's egg is a handsome gift.
The king and I thank you for your offer, and we will consider it duly.
He's like, we're not gonna accept it like that? No? Okay.
Joint hands will be stronger for it.
You may do as you wish, husband. But I am cold in my grave.
She doesn't want to marry her daughter with someone that she doesn't judge honorable, you know. She has a sense of honor, Alicent, which is really like that.
I have come to resign my position as Hand of the King.
Why?
My son, Harwin, has disgraced himself, and every fishwife in King's Landing will soon be telling the tale. He's been expelled from the City Watch. That seems punishment enough. Forgive me, Your Grace.
He's not thinking about that. He's thinking about marrying his son to someone at some point.
There is a shadow over my house, and it grows ever darker. I can no longer serve you with integrity. What is this shadow?
Oh, come on! You know.
It casts such a gloom.
You really want him to say it? Alicent, she wants it.
I cannot. Then I cannot accept this.
My dear husband.
I said no. If you insist, my king. I do. I would then ask leave to take my son from court and escort him back to the family seat at Harrenhal. He is my heir.
I totally understand why.
Do it.
Yes. Alicent, she doesn't approve that because it's a way, you know, to get out of the situation in an honorable way, and it's not her way to see stuff, so...
It's been my duty to tell you happenings about the castle, but tonight you know, and I do not.
He attempted to resign his post.
Not for as much. His honour's always been a millstone about his esteemed neck. Then he fell short of confessing my brother's transgressions.
With his eruption in the yard, your brother all but confessed the truth himself.
Mm-hmm.
To the king to doom his dear daughter to exile, or even...
To accept it, it would have been bad for Rhaenyra. That's why also Alicent, she wanted him
It's a woeful
to accept.
The hand is compromised by the acts of his son.
What can you do
My
about
father
it?
cannot give unbiased counsel to the king.
Not your high tower was still at hand.
You can't say, my queen, that your father would be in partial in this matter.
No, but he would be partial to me.
He's loyal to Rhaenyra and to the decision that he took of making her his heir. So, what can you do about it? She made 3 kids. Not the right way, and he chose to stay blind about it.
What a collection of heroes I have before me. A murderer, a deviant, a traitor to the crown. What do you want with us?
Are you gonna be our new Littlefinger?
I'm prepared to offer you mercy if you're prepared to pay a little price.
Oh, taking their tongues, so they're not gonna say the secrets, the orders that you're gonna give them. Are you gonna ask him the same then? What they asked to Viserys to choose?
Child will not come. Could I open the womb by way of the blade?
The same choice, the same choice, the same choice.
See for surety whether it lives. What about this environment?
Do you need a boy that much? Like your brother? On you want to... You wanted the death of a dragon fighter, you know, rider.
One more time.
They know the truth, these kids.
I'll be a stranger when we meet again.
Rhaenyra, you know, if we think about it, she had to say goodbye to a lot of her lovers because of her place.
Sound strong, my father. Am I a bastard?
You're a Targaryen.
Oh, the fact that you don't answer just like that, Rhaenyra. Okay, you're telling him the truth.
We're finished here. We're leaving.
What of your offer, Jace and Helena?
I have been undermined. I made a spectacle. They whisper about me in the corridors.
They're right to do it, remember? I mean, I'm not against it and I totally understand her position, but it's a little hypocrite, you know?
You always said if you were absent from court, she would pour her honey in your father's ear.
The wise sailor flees the storms it battles. Bring him. We'll need every sword we can muster.
It's dangerous to live because of Alicent and because you're not gonna be there when your dad is gonna die. Soon, normally. Ooh. I don't want to kill you.
What are children but a weakness?
Larry's.
But for them, you surrender what you should not.
But
Queen makes a wish.
how is it helping
Certainly
her?
the realm would not strive to fulfill it. I assume you will write to your father, no?
Okay, it was not really for the son, it was for the father, for the end.
You're certain he will reward me when the time is right.
okay. I understand the fact that she didn't order to Larys, the new Littlefinger, to do all of that, but he is her ally, he is her friend. We can see that he has also some ambitions, you know, he wants also some things, so he did that. He hired these three guys, cutting their tongues, so really they can't say about the orders that he's giving to them, and you know why they are doing all of that. He told them to kill these two. At first I really thought that it was to kill the dad, you know, the dad of the sons of Rhaenyra, and in fact it was not for the son, it was for the dad, it was for the hand of the king, because you wanted Alicent to have her father back at being the hand of the king. It's not gonna be that difficult, you know, for her right there to convince the king to take back Otto as his hand. The king is dying, he doesn't have really a lot of choice around him for people in whom he can put that trust that much, so it's not gonna be that hard to have Otto back at the hand of the king. And Alicent, she needed allies and she needed other people to whisper into the king's ears with her. Now there are gonna be two, you know, to whisper things into the king's ears to convince him to take this or these decisions. When before that, the other hand was really neutral in a way and could have been also an issue if he would have tried to protect his sons non-officially, but you know, it would have been bad for Alicent maybe. Okay, you made a good move by killing this hand of the king to kill his son, you know. In a way, I think that Alicent, she can approve that because really she had a sense of honor which is like that. So she didn't approve for sure what Rhaenyra she was doing with that guy, and to kill him, it's a way to erase what happened. I'm not so sure, but okay. She's not okay with the situation, she's not okay with what happened, but I think that she's gonna approve the consequences of it, to have her dad back at being the aunt, to have that guy, the real dad, you know, of Rhaenyra's sons, to be killed, so he's never gonna come back, so Rhaenyra, she can't do it again, and she's punished also in a way for the crimes that she made, you know, according to Alicent. I think that at the end she's gonna approve that. The relationship between Alicent and Rhaenyra is really awful. Clearly you're not friends anymore, not at all. That first scene, you know, the fact that she wanted to see the kid, Rhaenyra, she was afraid for her kid. The fact that she wanted that much to come with her kid, to be presented to the queen. I'm not sure that Alicent, she wanted to torture Rhaenyra, you know, by doing that, but it was more Rhaenyra who was afraid of it, and for a good reason, because she knows that Alicent knows the truth. Everyone knows the truth. That's the worst, you know, for this situation. Everyone knows the truth. Everyone is whispering that secret to each other into that palace. Rhaenyra, she knew it, like, during all of this time, you knew that everyone knew. At the end, you know what she's saying to Laenor, like, that's it, they're all conspiring, you know, against me. What did you expect, girl? Like, really, you thought that everyone would believe that lie? These lies would say nothing about it. During all of this time, they never considered you as a true heir, they fought it a lot. Right there, you're giving to them really, like, so freely a way to be against you, to say bad stuff against you. For sure they're gonna take that opportunity to say how bad you are as a person, as an heir for the throne, to not recognize the legitimacy of your sons because they know who is the real dad. it's a little hypocrite or a little sad, you know, that Rhaenyra is saying that, like you really believed that it would be okay to make bastards and for none of them to discuss it because you're the princess, because you're the heir. Now already not recognizing you as the heir, the true heir, so to recognize your sons, they know that your sons are not legitimate, are bastards, and you think that they would recognize your sons when they are not recognizing you and when they know the truth about your sons. Like I said, it's hypocrite or it's sad because you truly believed so. And it would be really sad if it's the case. I'm saying that I'm not against Rhaenyra at all. I feel also sorry for her and for the life that she had. I said it during this moment, if you're thinking about it, she had to renounce to the three lovers, you know, that she had to renounce to Daemon, she had to renounce to Cranston, she had to renounce now to that guy. She didn't have a good life, she was married by force, you know, to her cousin. She had to endure that wedding, you know, that marriage in which, okay, he's a nice guy, but she knew that she wouldn't be happy really with him. She gave birth to 3 kids, 3 sons, so maybe she thought that she would make everyone happy about it. She was never recognized as the true heir. Her position as the true heir was always discussed by everyone. Now it's for her sons. She has a really difficult life, so that's why I'm not blaming her and I'm not against her. But I think that she didn't make really good choices, Rhaenyra. During these 10 years, and in fact a little before that, she made decisions that we can discuss and which are really not helping her. With Daemon, but also with Cranston, with her other lover. Even if, again, it was a good way to give birth, you know, to give what they wanted. They wanted to have a succession for her, but in another hand, you know, she was trapped since the beginning. The beginning of this wedding, the beginning of everything. Right there to leave the court, to leave the palace, she knows that Alicent, she's gonna have more place, you know, to try to convince the king for what Rhaenyra is doing wrong. I mean, if Rhaenyra is taking decisions being outside of that place, she's not going to be able to convince her father about the fact that what she's deciding is right, and on the contrary, she's going to have Alicent saying to the king, see, she's taking her own decisions, she's not listening to you, see how bad this is. Now we're going to have Otto who is going to do the same. We have Aegon also who is getting older, so can take that place, you know, as the heir for the throne. To leave the place, I understand why she's doing that, Rhaenyra, but is it really the good decision? I'm not sure. Oh, okay for that, for Rhaenyra part. For Alicent's part, I already talked a little about it. She's really fighting for her sons, Alicent, that's it. Even if her sons are not really, you know, we saw one, you know, the difficulties that he has because he doesn't have a dragon for himself. We saw the other one with a teenager, an impulsive teenager who is not really thinking with his head, but maybe with something else, and who doesn't know really what his place is, like maybe he didn't consider it at all at any point. For now he's giving me some Joffrey's vibes, you know? We'll see. For Alicent, for now, she's fighting all alone. I mean, she has allies with Cranston, with Larys, soon she's gonna have another one with her dad. But she was really fighting, you know, with the wind for her sons. And even almost like her sons were not playing with her. Things are gonna change. The king is dying. I really thought that he would have died already, but no. really you have a bad health and at the same time you're really strong to stay alive all of this time. But you need to die at some point. I'm sorry, my dear, but you need to die. Like, we need to get over you so we can begin the real stuff. To fight for the throne, for real, for your throne. Daemon, I'm surprised by Daemon, who really seems to not be interested by all of that anymore. Like, truly, he gave up on the throne, he gave up on all of that, he didn't want to hear about it. It was his wife who was pushing him to have more ambition, to come back to who he was before. Her death, it was sad because she was a great character and I really wanted, to spend more time with her now that, she was older, she was a woman, she was also Daemon's wife and we saw that he really had something for her, so I would have wanted to spend more time with her, to discover more of her like that, now that she was really someone, really a character, like a mother, but also, how she was riding this dragon and all of that. It could have been so interesting to keep her for Daemon's character, for also her kids, for herself, because she had ambitions and she wanted stuff to be done for that and that. Like, I really thought that it could have been great to keep her, so that's why I was surprised by that end. I was afraid for Daemon, to take that decision of sacrificing her for the kid, but she gave herself, like, she knew that she would die. She wanted that death. I'm glad for her because she had the life and the death that she wanted. She didn't suffer, as much as all of the other ones they suffered. So I'm glad. But again, yes, I would have wished to spend more time with her. Daemon, with your 2 daughters at the end, I'm not saying that is a bad dad, but you're not someone reassuring, for them. I think that maybe to respect her, he's gonna try to come back. Daemon. It would be great. For the story also. And also because it would mean that you're gonna come back and you're gonna meet Rhaenyra, who she is right now. And with her husband who is like that, you might find stuff, that you can work on together. Not only that, but also some fights, for the stepsons and stuff like that. For Rhaenyra to make an alliance with Daemon right now, for the stepsons, it would be something big. What I said earlier, like Alicent, she could use it to convince the king that Rhaenyra is against her, so he would choose another heir. It could be a good way to do it for Alicent, to use it. And it would be logical also for Rhaenyra and Daemon to do that. That was a really interesting episode, because after that big time jump, we needed to discover the characters, how they evolved, the relationships, how they evolved, the context, how it evolved, and still during this episode, at the end of it, a lot of important things are happening for each of them, which are gonna change stuff for the rest of the show. So it was a really interesting episode in the sense of a lot of things happened during this episode. I can't discuss everything during this review, like I could talk about Cranston and what he said about Rhaenyra, the fact that he's serving Alicent that much, but still he fought with that guy, seeing all of that, so maybe he's still a little jealous and all. I could talk about that. About also Larys, who is gonna become the new Littlefinger, and that's gonna be great. I mean, that's gonna be a character that we're gonna love to hate. I could talk about Laena also, and the fact that I'm also feeling sad for him for these 10 years that he spent where he was not really loyal to himself, you know, honest with himself, with what he is, what he wants. He's a fighter, you know, Lena, and he had to hide himself, and he had to accept these sons. Like, it was rough also for him. Like, really, each characters and each situations and each relationships, also the relationship between Rhaenyra and Alicent, the relationship between Rhaenyra and the king, which stayed the same because they are still close, you know, like that. You know, you can really discuss all of the characters, all of the relationships, all of the situations, and all of the big things that happened during this episode, and my review, it would last for 1 hour or more than that. Clearly, you don't want that, I don't want that, so I tried to pick, you know, the most important things. And no matter what, I think that we're gonna discuss about all of these things for the other episodes, so we're gonna see each other again for these things. In fact, that episode was a good introduction to what the rest of the show is gonna be. It's almost like the 5 episodes that we had before that, it was a little spin-off before House of the Dragon, and that episode 6 is truly the first episode of House of the Dragon, the show that we're gonna have for entire seasons. Do you understand what I mean? It almost feels like that, and that's why it was so full of stuff, of introduction of characters, relationships and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna end this review right now. Tell me, what did you think about this episode? I'm interested by it. I think that you also, you have a lot in mind, so maybe you can't put everything on your comment, but if you want to discuss about something that I didn't discuss right there during the review, tell me that on the comments, and we're gonna discuss about it on the comments. Okay, it's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.